DB Sports with myself, Joel, NFL Edition. We are going to talk about Week 10 of the NFL season. What can I say about this week? This week was a interesting week of NFL. Starting off first with Thursday night's game of the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. That was one hell of a game right there. One hell of a game. Bengals really needed that win for them to keep themselves in some type of playoff hope to make the playoffs this year. They needed that win against Baltimore. And they played like if they needed to win. And Cincinnati needs a lot of help, especially the offensive line. They cannot get no offensive line to help Joe Burrow to save their life. And it was a hell of a win for Baltimore Ravens. A hell of a win for the Baltimore Ravens. It kills their hopes for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're done for the year. They're not going to make playoff hope. But Baltimore Ravens win over the Cincinnati Bengals 35-34. Joe Burrow threw for 34, 56, 428 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Lamar Jackson, 25 for 33, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Like I said, highly entertaining game. Next game, we had the San Francisco 49ers versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. San Francisco winning 23-20. Brock Purdy throwing 25 for 36, 353 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Baker Mayfield, 18 for 29, 116 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. We also had McCaffrey. He came back. He finally returned from missing 9 games of the season with his injury. That was serious. You know, us Niners, we've had a lot of injuries this year. I'm hoping this last 8 games of the year we could really finish strong and healthy as much as we can. Next game, we had the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers winning 20-17. Daniel Jones, 22 for 37, 119 yards passing, two interceptions, no touchdowns. Bryce Young, 15 for 25, 126 yards passing, 1 touchdown. No interceptions. Once again, this is the battle of who's going to get the first pick in the NFL draft this year, and it looks like the Giants are leading that. We have the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs winning 16-14. This is a game that Broncos wanted to prove they are one of the best teams. But Patrick Mahomes always struggles with the Denver Broncos for whatever odd reason. It's that team that he still wins, but he always struggles with them. And he had another night of struggling. He got sacked multiple times. Bo Nick, 22 for 30, 215 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, 28 for 42, 206 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Denver thought they had it until they didn't. That's the Kansas City way right there. It's you think you're winning, you're going to win until Patrick Mahomes does something to let you know, no, you don't. It's not over until he hits 0-0. And that's why Patrick Mahomes is one bad motherfucker. Fuck you, Patrick. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington Commanders. That was the game of the week. That was the game that got most attention. Wanted to see if the Commanders are that team they're talking about. Especially they're going against, this is probably the best defensive team they've won against. And Pittsburgh Steelers won 28-27. Russell Wilson, 14 for 28, 195 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jaron Daniels, 17 for 34, 202 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. It was a really good game. The Washington Commanders player that went off sides in that right there in that line drive that got the Steelers to win. It's your dumbass fault. We have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Minnesota Vikings winning 12-7. This was not very much an entertaining game at all. Very much a defensive game. Nobody was able to get nothing. Sam Darnold, 24 for 38, 241 yards passing. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Mac Jones, 14 for 22, 111 yards passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We had the Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints winning 2017. New Orleans Saints needed this, man. They were on a 7-game losing streak. They really badly needed this game. They so needed this game. Kirk Cousins, 23 for 38, 103 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Derek Carr, 16 for 25, 269 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Bakerfield's own. We had the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts. Buffalo Bills winning 30-20. Josh Allen, 22 for 37, 280 yards passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Joe Flacco, 26 for 35, 272 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We had the New England Patriots versus Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears was the top team to talk about during the week because was the coach going to get fired? Why are they struggling so much with the quarterback that was talked about so much? It was pretty much a game that they needed so badly. They needed this game so badly to be able to win, to be able to continue the playoff hunt, and hopefully keep their coach's position and get everybody to shut up. But they didn't. New England Patriots won 19-3. Derek Mason, 15 for 25, 184 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Caleb Williams, 16 for 30, 120 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. We had the Tennessee Titans versus Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers winning 27-17. We had the battle of the two best defenses in the league. Chargers being the best scoring defense, and Tennessee Titans being just overall best defense by numbers wise. Well, Will Leaves, 18 for 23, 175 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jason Herbert, 14 for 18, 164 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. We had the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys need this win. It's going to be their first game without Dak Prescott. And the Philadelphia Eagles win in there and just who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? And beat the shit out of the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts, 14 for 20, 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cooper Rush, 13 for 23, 45 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I think they need to go with Trey Lance in this, former Niner. I think that Cooper Rush shit is not going to happen. It's not going to work very well for them. Unless they want a stupid-ass pick, go for it. But if you want to, win some games and have some decently hope and go out on your shield, Trey Lance. We had the New York Jets versus the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals beat the New York Jets 31-6. Aaron Rodgers, 22 for 35, 151 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Kyler Murray, 22 for 24, 266 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. We had late night game, the Detroit Lions, pretty much the best team in the NFC, versus the Houston Texans. Jared Goff, 15 for 30, 240 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. CJ Stroud, 19 for 33, 232 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. This is a game they showed that they can come back and fight Detroit Lions. People wondered that because they were blowing everybody out. Can they be able to be down and come back? Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions and still being able to come back and win. They were down by 16 in the halftime, and they were able to do it. Detroit Lions are a real team. They are the threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the best team in the NFC.